For years after the dinosaurs were released on the mainland, people had to adjust to their presence. Mosasaurus grabs the fish basket with its jaws and pulls down the fishing boat. Many people have died in dinosaur-related incidents, and while many believe that all prehistoric animals should be killed, all prehistoric animals captured on the black market are illegally sold. And some have found a way to distribute it. The government has handed over the reins to BioSyn Genetics, a company headed by Louis Dodgson, Campbell Scott, to keep the dinosaurs in reserves in Italy's Doremites mountains for pharmaceutical purposes. Promised to do further research. Media reports also point to Maisie Lockwood, Isabella Salmon, going missing after her true identity as a clone was made public. At a Nevada facility, Claire Deering, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Gia Rodriguez, Daniela Pineda, rescue a baby dinosaur from an illegal hatchery. They join Franklin Webb, Justice Smith, as
somewhere near the snowy mountains in Nevada, Owen Grady, Chris Pratt, is riding a horse to wrangle a large dinosaurs. After he's done, he goes back to the cabin that he shares with Claire and Maisie, as he and Claire are now her adoptive parents. Although Maisie likes to stray from home and witness the dinosaurs on land, Claire and Owen try to keep her hidden for fear that someone is after her. This causes her to get annoyed with them, and she has also become curious about sharks. Not far from the cabin, Blue the raptor asexually bred a child, which Maisie later named Beta. They go hunting together. Two kids are being chased by a swarm of grasshoppers in Texas. This attracts the attention of paleobotanist Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern. She investigates a farm where grasshoppers attacked and ate the entire crop. Ellie learns from her children's mother that nearby crops spared by locusts will be planted by BioSyn. Works with other ambitious paleontologists. She brought him a captive grasshopper and explained the situation, and she feared that the food chain would be destroyed if the grasshopper spread. Alan and Ellie suspect that only the harvest remains, as BioSyn must have made them. Ellie wants to collect her DNA from another grasshopper at the BioSyn conservation area and enlists Alan's help. She had already been introduced to her old friend Doctor invited by Ian, Malcolm, Jeff, and Maisie. They are all surprised to see that Blue has become a mother. Mercenaries quickly spring into action and conquer Beta. Maisie rides her bike across the bridge, and she is kidnapped by the villains. Owen sees this and has Claire go after them. Claire says she knows who can help them. Claire contacts Franklin, who now works for the CIA. He helps them get information on Delacourt and directs them to Barry Simbin, Omercy, Owen's former colleague in Jurassic World. Alan and Ellie arrive at the sanctuary and meet Ramsey Cole, Mandu Ashi, BioSyn's director of communications. Dodgson promises that they are working on something innovative and groundbreaking. Alan and Ellie are escorted to find Ian giving a lecture. He then joins them and discreetly tells Ellie that the grasshopper is actually part of a sinister plan by BioSyn. Henry Wu, B.D. Wong, finds that the locusts are growing at an alarming rate. In Malta, an associate of Dodgson's, Sonoya Santos, Deacon Lockman, calls him to say that Maisie and Beta have been transported separately to BioSyn HQ. Owen and Claire also arrive and reunite with Barry. He brings them to a black market dinosaur ring, where animals are being sold, eaten, or forced to fight. Claire meets Kayla Watts, DeWanda Wise, a pilot who flies for the vendors. She warns Claire about messing with anyone there, but eventually agrees to help Claire find Maisie. As this happens, Owen and Barry stay hidden and witness Delacourt meeting with Santos to smuggle Atrociraptors. The two confront and fight Delacourt and his men. Owen orders him to say where Maisie and Beta are, and he just gives him Santos' name before he gets eaten by dinosaurs in a fighting ring. Claire fights Santos and learns that Maisie is headed for BioSyn, and she outruns a loose dinosaur before joining Kayla. Barry arrests Santos, but not before she sicks one of her dinosaurs on Owen, who who is riding a motorcycle to catch up with Claire and Kayla. He manages to board Kayla's plane just as she is getting ready to take off with Claire, and Owen uses the motorcycle to knock the dino off the ramp and into the ocean. Maisie arrives at HQ and meets Wu. He explains to her that while she is a clone of Charlotte's, she is also her actual daughter because she gave birth to her. Maisie watches video footage of Charlotte, Elva Trill, and sees when she was pregnant with Maisie. Charlotte suffered from a genetic disease, but she managed to alter Maisie's DNA to remove all traces of the disease. Wu hopes that by studying Maisie's DNA, he can reverse the locust outbreak by altering their DNA. As the heroes work on an escape plan, BioSyn begins to burst into flames, forcing the staff to flee. Dodgson tries to quit his job, and Ramsey rejects him one last time before leaving. Dodgson attempts to escape by monorail, but is cornered by a trio of Dilophosaurus who eat him. Beta meets the heroes and is sedated so that they can be taken to safety. They were also discovered by Wu, who found a way to alter the DNA of grasshoppers to stop them from spreading. As the group prepares to depart, the Giganotosaurus reappears, but is caught between the T-Rex and Therizinosaurus. Ends with shoving the Giganotosaurus into the Therizinosaurus claws.
Dodgson fires him. Ian works with Ramsey to get back to Ian's friends. He helps them escape the dinosaurs by freeing them from the enclosure. Dodgson then sets fire to the locust lab to destroy evidence. The flaming locusts break free and begin flying out into the open. Alan, Ellie, Ian, and Maisie attempt to outrun a large dinosaur in a van, but are knocked down a hill. Luckily, they land near Owen, Claire, and Kayla, reuniting the former two with Maisie. Claire also gets to meet Ellie while Owen meets Alan. The group is then stalked by the Gigantosaurus, who almost gets Maisie, but she escapes. Ian fends it off by throwing a burning cloth into its mouth. While the group works on an escape plan as BioSyn starts to burn to the ground, forcing the employees to flee, Dodgson attempts to make off with his work, and Ramsey tells him off one last time before leaving. Dodgson attempts to get away in the monorail, but is cornered by a trio of Dilophosaurus, who make a meal out of him. Beta comes upon the heroes and is sedated so they can safely bring her along. They are also found by Wu, who has found a way to alter the locust DNA to stop the spread. Just as the group prepares their leave, the Gigantosaurus reappears, but it is then caught between the T-Rex and the Therizinosaurus. The humans flee to avoid the dino fight, and it ends when the T-Rex pushes the Gigantosaurus into the Therizinosaurus's claws. Upon returning to
back safely, Alan and Ellie rekindle their romance and later travel to Washington, D.C. to testify against BioSyn. Wu's work was successful, stemming the locust infestation. Owen, Claire, and Maisie return home to reunite Beta and Blue. Blue sees Owen one last time before returning to the woods. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel by clicking the buttons below for more exciting movie recaps.